Welcome, viewers, to our Sleepover Scares, a trio of terrifying tales. Welcome to 3 terrifying sleepover stories that will keep you up tonight. Our journey into the unknown begins with The Whispering House, a sleepover gone wrong, a tale that will make your skin crawl and question every shadow. 4 friends, seeking adventure, decide to spend the night in an infamous abandoned house. Rumors of its haunting have lingered for years, making it the perfect setting for a night of thrills. Little did they know, their bravery would soon turn into their biggest regret. As darkness enveloped the house, an eerie silence was broken by whispers. These were not just any whispers. They seemed to come from the very walls of the house, chilling to the core. The friends, initially dismissing it as their imagination, soon realized they were not alone. In a daring game of truth or dare, one friend is challenged to explore the basement alone. The dimly lit stairs lead him to an unexpected discovery, an old doll that whispered his name. The personal nature of the whisper sent shivers down his spine, propelling him back to the safety of his friends. Yet when he recounted his terrifying encounter, his friends were skeptical. They hadn't heard a thing. Determined to prove he wasn't imagining things, they decide to record the whispers. This decision would soon reveal the true horror of the Whispering House, marking the beginning of a night they would never forget. Descending into the basement, the friend's heart raced as he navigated the cluttered, dimly lit space. Amidst the shadows, an old doll sat on a wooden chair, its eyes seemingly following his every move. To his horror, it whispered his name in a voice both eerie and familiar, sending chills down his spine. Panicked, he sprinted back to his friends, breathless and wide-eyed with fear. Despite his frantic explanations, his friends met him with confused stares. They hadn't heard any whispers, let alone his name being called. Skepticism hung in the air as they tried to rationalize the unexplainable. Refusing to let fear win, they hatched a plan to capture the whispers. They positioned their phone in the center of the room, hoping to record any sounds. The air grew tense as they waited in silence, half expecting, half dreading what they might hear. Upon playback, the room was filled with the sound of chilling threats, each tailored disturbingly to them. The realization that something malevolent knew them personally struck terror in their hearts. The once skeptical atmosphere turned to one of palpable fear as the true extent of their situation began to dawn on them. Attempts to flee were in vain as they found doors and windows inexplicably sealed shut. Panic ensued as the whispers intensified, enveloping them in an impenetrable darkness. Trapped and helpless, they huddled together, bracing for what felt like an inevitable doom as the night wore on. The whispers in the house had become a cacophony of chilling threats, each one tailored to strike fear into the hearts of the friends. Despite their growing terror, they mustered the courage to record the eerie sounds on their phone, hoping to find a logical explanation later. The atmosphere was thick with an unspoken dread, as the once familiar abandoned house now seemed like a maze designed to trap them in its sinister embrace. Upon playback, the recording revealed a series of personalized threats that left the friends paralyzed with fear. Each message was more menacing than the last, directly addressing them by name and predicting their doom. The realization that the house knew their deepest fears turned the night into a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. Their immediate thought was to flee, but the house had other plans. Doors that once opened with a gentle push now refused to budge, and windows that offered a view to safety were sealed shut. Desperation clawed at their throats as they scrambled from room to room, looking for an escape route that didn't exist. As the night progressed, the whispers grew into a deafening roar, enveloping the friends in a blanket of darkness. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. Something unseen was with them, watching, waiting. The air was electric with fear, and every shadow seemed to move with a life of its own. By the time dawn broke, the police found the friends huddled together, unharmed but visibly shaken to their core. They spoke of the whispers and the house's refusal to let them leave, but no evidence was found to support their claims. The house was later demolished, yet the recording of the whispers remained, a haunting reminder of their terrifying ordeal. In an effort to fit in and make friends, the new kid on the block decided to host a sleepover. The excitement was palpable as classmates arrived, eager for a night of fun and games. Little did they know, an attic discovery would turn their friendly gathering into a nightmare. Stumbling upon an old board game with a warning that read, "Play at your own risk," curiosity got the better of them. Laughing off the ominous message, they decided to give it a go, unaware of the chilling reality that awaited. As the game commenced, an unsettling feeling crept over them. With each roll of the dice and move on the board, the atmosphere in the house began to shift. Walls seemed to whisper, shadows danced, and an inexplicable coldness filled the room. The game, once thought to be a mere relic, was now eerily dictating their reality. As tasks were completed, the consequences became more tangible and terrifying. What started as innocent fun quickly spiraled into a desperate fight for survival. Each friend faced their worst fears, manifested through the game's twisted challenges, pulling them further from reality and into its sinister grip. Realization dawned on the remaining players. To end this nightmare, they had to finish the game. But as their numbers dwindled, the tasks grew more daunting, pushing them to their limits. The game, however, harbored one final twist. Only one could remain, turning their sleepover into a solitary fight for freedom. As the night deepened, the two remaining players found themselves facing challenges that seemed insurmountable. The game, once thought to be a simple source of amusement, had morphed into a sinister trial. With every roll of the dice, the house around them twisted further into a labyrinth of horrors, testing their courage and resolve. The realization that the game would only conclude with one survivor left them with a heavy heart. The atmosphere was charged with desperation and fear as they navigated the final tasks. Each move was a gamble, not just against the malevolent forces at play, but against each other. In a dramatic turn of events, the game compelled them to confront the very essence of their fears. The challenges became a mirror, reflecting their deepest anxieties and forcing them to face them head-on. It was no longer just a game, but a battle for their souls. As dawn started to break, casting a soft light into the dim recesses of the haunted house, one player emerged victorious. The final task was completed in a race against time, against the supernatural elements that sought to claim them. It was a bittersweet victory, marked by loneliness, but also relief. With the sun's first rays, the game vanished as if it had never existed, leaving no trace behind except the memories of what had transpired. The house returned to its original state, but the scars of the night's ordeal would remain with the sole survivor forever. The game vanished as mysteriously as it had appeared, leaving no physical evidence of its existence. The sole survivor was left grappling with the reality of the night's events, the memories of which were as vivid as they were terrifying. This harrowing experience served as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows, especially those invited by curiosity and the disregard of warnings. In the aftermath, the friends were never the same. The bonds that had once united them were now severed by the trauma and loss they had endured together. The survivor, in particular, found it impossible to convey the full extent of the night's horrors, their words falling short of the chilling reality. The community was abuzz with rumors and speculation about the sleepover that had gone terribly wrong. Whispers of haunted board games and the mysterious disappearance of several local teens ignited a firestorm of fear and fascination. Yet without evidence, these tales soon became part of the town's collection of ghost stories, told and retold, each iteration straying further from the truth. However, for those who had witnessed the events firsthand, the terror was far from over. Nightmares plagued the survivor, a nightly torment that served as a relentless reminder of the game's reality. The psychological scars ran deep, making every shadow a potential threat and every game a potential gateway to another nightmare. The house where it all happened stood silent, a constant looming reminder of the night's events. Despite the absence of the game, a palpable sense of unease surrounded the place. It was as if the very walls whispered secrets of the past, secrets that were better left undiscovered. At first, the sight of the ghostly figure in their photos was met with disbelief and laughter. The friends assumed it was a trick of the light or a flaw in the camera, but as the figure began to appear in every snapshot, its form becoming clearer and closer, the mood shifted from amusement to fear. They realized this was no ordinary camera glitch. Driven by curiosity and a growing sense of dread, they delved into the camera's past. Their research led them to the story of a photographer who vanished without a trace, leaving behind only this camera. The connection sent chills down their spines. The camera, it seemed, held a dark secret linked to its previous owner. With each new photo, the figure loomed larger, as if it were closing in on them. Panic set in as they understood that the entity wasn't just confined to the photographs, but was somehow manifesting closer to reality. The air thickened with tension, the camera capturing their fear in every shot. In a desperate bid to rid themselves of the eerie camera, they tried to destroy it, only to find it reappearing, unscathed. Worse still, the camera began taking pictures on its own, each revealing horrifying scenes that hinted at future events. The line between the physical and the paranormal blurred, trapping them in a nightmare. The realization that the camera wasn't just haunted but cursed struck them hard. The images it produced now foretold ominous events, each snapshot bringing them closer to their own potential doom. They were caught in a web of premonitions, with every click of the shutter tightening the strands around them. Trying to rid themselves of the camera proved futile. Each time they thought it was gone, it reappeared, mysteriously taking photos on its own. The images were chilling, capturing moments no one wanted to remember. Each snapshot seemed to taunt them, a relentless reminder of the horror they couldn't escape. The photos began to reveal images that hadn't happened yet, each more terrifying than the last. It was as if the camera was predicting their futures, showing them glimpses of horrors to come. This realization struck fear into their hearts, the weight of impending doom hanging over them like a dark cloud. In a desperate attempt to break the cycle, they decided to confront the ghostly figure appearing in the photos. Armed with the cursed camera, they sought to face whatever haunted it. The air crackled with tension as they prepared to meet the unknown, hoping against hope for a way to end their nightmare. Their confrontation led to an astonishing revelation. The ghostly figure was the spirit of the missing photographer, trapped within the camera. His presence was not malevolent, but rather a plea for help, a soul caught between worlds. Understanding his plight, they realized they held the key to his release. By freeing the photographer's spirit, they broke the camera's curse. The haunting images ceased, and the camera lost its sinister power. While relief washed over them, the experiences remained etched in their memories. They were left haunted not by the camera, but by the knowledge of what lies beyond, forever changed by their encounter. This brings us to the end of our trilogy for this evening. We hope you have enjoyed our cautionary tales. If you would like to see more of our horror stories, please like and subscribe to our channel to enjoy more terror tales. For now, sleep well, viewer, and we hope to see you next time.